To me, a calling is like a flame. Just as a spark starts a fire, a calling can be sparked within each and every one of us. Throughout my life, I've had various sparks that could have led to a calling, but no spark was sustained enough to actually grow big enough for me to realize it was a calling. It was not until senior year that a spark grew big enough for me to realize that I had been called to nursing. It was a fire that had been sparked when I was young. When I was little, I was always interested in helping babies and helping others. In high school, my love for the sciences and helping others grew. I believe those interests added more fuel to my calling. Soon enough, the small sparks and kindling in the fire of my calling grew to a blaze that I could not ignore. I finally felt called to become a nurse, more specifically a certified nurse midwife. My love for babies, my appreciation for having real conversations with others, my desire to run a business, and my goal to help others in everything I do. It all added to the flame. And once I realized that there was this calling inside of me, this flame that grew over the years, I kept feeding it. I yearned to learn more and add more fuel to the fire. Before I realized my calling, I always questioned when people would claim they were called to do something. I never understood it until I experienced it for myself. Today I hear many colleagues say, nursing is a calling, and I finally understand. To me, it means that there is no other career besides nursing that makes sense for me. I can't picture my life without my future as a nurse. For some, it takes time to find what they are called to do. I spent a long time thinking I would never find what I was called to do. But one day, the pieces of my life flawlessly fell together and showed me where my future was headed. There were several things that sparked an interest as my calling, but they never caught fire. Every part of my life added up to fuel a raging fire. To me, we know we've been called to do something when it's hard to picture our lives without our calling in it. We know we've been called when our calling starts to consume everything that we do. And when learning more and more about the calling, it never gets old, and it just stirs a greater desire to learn. I know it's a calling because I never get tired of adding fuel. I'm honored to feel called into nursing. My grandmother was a nurse trained by the Indiana University School of Nursing, and I'm following in her footsteps. I've always respected nurses, looked up to them, and put my trust in their hands. As I complete this first semester into nursing school, I feel my calling has only grown stronger. Sure, it's hard, sometimes tireless, but all the hard work lets me know just how much I am learning and growing. I am proud when I tell others that I am called to become a nurse, and I'm excited for my future. In this course, I learned many things that will help me live out my calling. For one, I've learned how to become a communicator. This will help when it comes to collaborating with other healthcare professionals, speaking with patients and their families, and in many other areas of my career. I've also learned the keys to collaborating with others. I've learned how to deal with others who may have clashing personalities, and work with patients who come from different cultural backgrounds. The skills I've learned in this class will help me as I pursue my career as a nurse. When someone is called to a profession, they have the duty to uphold its reputation and make sure it's regarded in a positive light by others. They also hold the responsibility of sharing the profession with others and helping others to be successful and continuing on in the profession. In a sense, they must help spark the fire in others and help build up the fire in others so that they can share the same calling and become successful in navigating the path to what they have become called to do. Just as a fire, a calling is not always sustained over time. Just like a fire can burn out, as people live life, sometimes their passions are changed, life can pull them in other directions, and they can be led to a new calling. However, I think a calling can help be sustained by remembering what brought you there, what you loved about it in the beginning. Our callings sometimes need kindling to keep the passion burning. We all encounter tough times in life, and those can distract us or pull us away from our callings. But looking back to the roots of whatever sparked the fire that ignited into a calling can help revive it and keep it strong.